Well, hi everybody. So this is today's topic of, communication. Okay, so communication. Well, hey, hi. How's it going today? Pretty amazing on my end. Not amazing, just very many blessings. I'm very blessed. And so are you. Yeah. How about we get right into it? Well, hi everybody. So this is today's topic of, communication. Okay, so communication. Communication is such a big thing, isn't it? Isn't it just like one of the biggest things? Like, honestly. It trumps everything. Like, for real. There's so much to it and of it that in of itself, that somehow when you communicate, when you express yourself, however that may be, you are bringing yourself to a moment of, what is it? What is that moment? What is that moment when you're captivated in such a degree that you start living life? That puts you in a moment of bliss. That gives you that opportunity to say, I love you and thank you. Or the other opportunity of saying, thank you and I love you. And yet, what is it overall though? Love. Communication is such a undertaking in of itself. It really, really is. It brings forth a meaning of yes, and I love today. And yet, in and of itself, sometimes, it's, I would have to say a lot of the times, or not a lot, that's too much, just, it does happen, it can, that, it's vulnerable, right? Communication is, can feel clammy at times, I guess, and the moment that comes into play of what is even before witness, and even, so that means even before just, getting there and showing up to become that witness, or to take a stand. Yet, what is life without communication, right? Isn't it kind of desolate? It's kind of a forced tranquility in a sense. For you that are listening to this, or for anyone, everyone, not just for those that are listening to this. That's silly, isn't that? A little bit. Yet, you know, if you didn't communicate, then you would just, you know, never be able to fly. Basically, what I'm saying here is, to say it simply, right? If you have sight, be it foresight or, you know, your eyesight or your eyesight, you have a blessing. It's a blessing. You know, it really, really is. To be able to say that you honestly could be within the ability of having it leads to a higher degree of it being accomplished. In and of itself, right? Well, you know, having something it's a responsibility, yet it's not a novelty. It means you have it. It means you hath, doth, have, do, and if you maintain it, because that's all you really ever have to do, right? Is maintain it. Is something that I used to say a lot. Yet, it still would stand, I think, and I believe, and I know. Which one is it, right? That maintaining. So, what is maintaining? Well, I guess it's communication, right? Because communication is how you keep it going, how you keep on connecting the dots, right? Communication. And in of itself, even if you don't have that supposed, foresight, we can simply say that communication in and of itself is well, let's all look it up, y'all. Let me look it up. Let's look it up, and then I'll go from there. So what I found is that communication is the act of communicating and act of imparting, discussing, debating, configurating, conferring, and a making common, imparting, communicating, a figure of speech. Noun of action from past, part, principle, steam of to share, divide out, in part, inform. So anywho, I'm not attempting to read this whole thing like that. I just wanted to just make sure I had all the good stuff to go. And yet, so that's what it's about though, It's about that communication. It's about making it common is really where I want to go from that, or to bring to the table of this, of what we're talking about. Upon this, yet communication comes down to willingness to be able to be responsible enough. Maybe not. Maybe not so. Yet the way that I see common sense in and of itself is that it is the key to opening many doors. And what I mean by key is that it's a starting point. It's a place where you are able to go and grow in so many degrees in and of itself that you allow yourself to be worth it. To go forth and to be you. To hold value to something. It in and of itself, when you take away something, do you have the original, or now do you have a copy? That is a really good question. That is a really good question, huh? What was the question? And yet, in and of itself, I think it's a good time to breathe in and breathe out. Two more times. Okay, let's do this. So, communication is something that builds honor amongst yourselves of a common good, which common good and common goal, they may seem like the same thing, yet they're not. Just like how nothing in no place doesn't exist, some would say, and yet that place does exist, or we wouldn't even talk about it if it didn't exist, right? Unless you're talking about, I guess, in hypotheticals. Let's look that up. Let's see what that says. Let's see what it says. Let's go from there. Let's do that thing and okay. Okay. So what are we doing? Oh my gosh! Look what I'm doing. Look what I just did. Goodness. It's all good to go until someone hugs you too tight. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so hypothetical, let's see. Hypothetical. Oh goodness, I gotta do that. I got to, you gotta be smart about things, right? You got to be smart. And by what I mean by that is you gotta take notes. That's kind of a lot about what communication is, I think. Taking notes, right? Right? Making it common. Taking notes, right? Studying it. I'm not sure about studying it. That's just a whole word upon itself. Yet, let me just pause this and then I'll go from there. No. I'll just listen to the birds. Hypotheticals. Here's hypothetical.
Hypothetical, ADJ. Founded on or characterized by a hypothesis, conjectural, 1580s, from Latinized form of Greek hypothetikos pertaining to a hypothesis, from hypothesis, see hypothesis. Hypothetic, 1670s, is less common. Related, hypothetically.
So what was that word? Let's see. Conjectual. What does conjectual mean? Ooh. Let's.
Hypothesis, N. 1590s, a particular statement. 1650s, a proposition, assumed and taken for granted, used as a premise. From French hypothesis and directly from late Latin hypothesis. From Greek hypothesis, base, groundwork, foundation. Hence, an extended use basis of an argument, supposition, literally a placing under. From hypo under, see hypo, plus thesis, a placing, proposition. From reduplicated form of PIE root. Hypothesis, N. 1590s, a particular statement. 1650s, a proposition, assumed and taken for granted, used as a premise. From French hypothesis and directly from late Latin hypothesis. From Greek hypothesis, base, groundwork, foundation. Hence, an extended use basis of an argument, supposition, literally a placing under. From hypo under, see hypo, plus thesis, a placing, proposition. From reduplicated form of PIE root asterisk DHE to set, put. A term in logic, narrower scientific sense, is from 1640s.
Oh, the whole time you were recording that? Wow. Okay, oh yeah, that's why. Whoop. There we go. Well, anywho. Wow. Okay, so. Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to look at the nether word. Let's see, where is it at? Conjectual. Conjectual.
Conjectural, ADJ. Depending on conjecture, implying a guess, 1550s, from Latin conjecturalis, belonging to conjecture, from conjectura, a conclusion, interpretation, guess, inference, literally a casting together, of facts, etc., from past participle stem of connoisseur, to throw together, from assimilated form of calm with, together, see con, plus iasir, to throw, from pie root asterisk e, to throw, impel. Related, conjecturally, mid-15C, conjecturative, early 15C.
Well, okie dokie. And then what do we have here? What do we have here? This is something right here. Everyone listen, this is very important.
Con. Word forming element meaning together, with sometimes merely intensive. It is the form of com used in Latin before consonants except B dash, P dash, L dash, M dash, or R dash. In native English formations, such as co-star, co tends to be used where Latin would use con dash.
Yep. There we go. Yet overall, I just want to say that there's always meaning in life, and yet this is what I know to be true is that the meaning of life is different for everyone. It's never the same. It's always different. Why is that? Because we are all different. Even though we're one and the same. See, we are one in the same. Yet we, as ourselves, are not the same, right? In and of ourselves are not the same. Overall, you know, aren't we so blessed to hear the songs of the birds? The bird songs? That some, yes, do call them chirps. That's okay. It's all good and it's all good. Yes. Well, aloha, my friends. Today is today, as tomorrow is only after today. So let's stick to today. Let's do ourselves a favor and go forth and do that. Okay, have a blessed one, everyone. Aloha.